you'll just be driving down the road and a locker light will just start flashing on your Jeep.
Okay.
A lot of times they'll say to replace it or whatever, but I figured out a cheap fix. They just left the tolerance too tight on this. Also, it's magnetic. It's covered in metal from the rear end. But so like the tolerance, it's literally like you can see the magnet here. That's just normal rear end material. You get metal that builds up in there. That's why you change your fluid, anything. But it'll all get stuck right here, and then it causes the erroneous light. It'll say your locker's locked randomly, or light will come on the dash. Even without that problem, it's just it's like so sensitive. Like the difference is that kind of movement right there, just from like heat, will cause that light to come on. And we used to replace the sensors. They had different sensors that fit. So I literally was watching it one day with like an oscilloscope. I was getting so tired of fixing them all the time, and customers would come back in 6 months. Oh, it's doing it again. I figured out that Banjo bolt washers, brake caliper washers, fit perfectly over this. And then all you got to do is put it back on like that. That little gap right there is perfect. This little, it just spaces it down a little more. And it still works when you put it in gear, or when you do your locker, the light will come on perfectly every time. At this point, if I touch a Rubicon rear end, it's getting one because I don't want it to come back. They'll be like, my locker light's on ever since you did it. Oh no, it's getting this fix. Any of the JLs, 18 and up. Gladiators and Wranglers. JTs, JLs, 4xEs, anything that's got the lockers, Rubicons. So I always say I have a ton of them in my cart. I was just save them whenever I do a brake job. It just fits perfectly over that stud, and then yeah, all of this does, the solenoid kicks in and it forces this down to lock it. Well, if it'll lock, but it's not right now there. And then it reads that came down. But it's just so sensitive before that, just the tiniest deflection. A lot of times the rear end heats up and the locker lights start flickering. And I figured out if I just spaced it out that far, and then I found that these work perfect size. Most washers are too big when you have a hole that big. Copper washer from a brake, that thing ain't going nowhere.